Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing for October 5th, 2022. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate appointed by the City to preside over today's hearing. Before we begin, if you have any cell phones or other things that make noise, please silence those so they don't interrupt our proceedings, and that will be appreciated. If you're going to be speaking to me about any of the items on our agenda today, whether city staff or respondents who have been called for a case, your testimony needs to be sworn, so I need to place you all under oath. If you'll please stand, raise your right hands. I can swear everybody in together. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. You can all have a seat. The way we will generally proceed is we'll be taking some cases either for the folks who are here or for certain city staff that we have to get on their way so they're not sitting here all day. When your case is called, if you're a respondent, please come up to this podium to my right. Generally, the way we'll proceed with each case is that I will hear from the city first. The city's code enforcement officer will present testimony. There will likely be photographs and images of other documents on the screens that relate to the case. You'll have an opportunity to look at those. Once the city's concluded its presentation and made any recommendations for how to resolve the case, it'll then be your opportunity you can ask questions if you have any of the city's witness. If not, you can just tell me about the case. If you have any additional photographs or documents that you want me to consider, that will be the time to produce those. Once I've heard everything from everybody, in all likelihood this morning I will enter an order that resolves the matter in some form or fashion. So with that explanation, let's go ahead and get started.
First case number 15409 Western Avenue, CE 211-20323, number 15409 Western Avenue.
Good morning, whenever you're ready.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Brown, Inspector 9767 for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was initially cited on 12/30 of 21 for the violation was given for an exterior gas heater installed without a permit, 1051. The city obtained proper service by certified mail. It was picked up at the post office on September 20th of 2022. It was also delivered by regular mail, and I posted it on the site September 15th of 2022. They do have permits for the water heater, but they are lacking some of the inspections to complete that process. There is an exterior structure around the water heater itself that needs to be properly inspected. So in order to complete the permit process, they'll need to complete that. They have been given a couple of extensions. I've had multiple conversations trying to get them in compliance. They are aware of what they need to do per their conversations with me. They need to get some engineering for the structure tie downs. The city is recommending $50 a day.
So the city's position is complying. The code enforcement case will require the inspections to be passed.
Yes.
All right, but the permit has been issued.
The permit has been issued.
Okay, so what time frame are you recommending to get that done?
30 days.
All right. Good morning, folks. Go ahead and whoever's going to speak first, you can put your name and address on the record, and then you can tell me about the case.
Yes, good morning. Name is Andre Jara from JK Closing Attorneys. And Sheila Williams is the new owner of the property back in 2021. Yes, and we have been speaking to Mr. Brown, and we're looking to get a 60-day extension because now we did get the engineer letter that we spoke about. It took a little bit longer than expected, and I think the route that we're going to end up taking is fixing. Obviously, we want to get the property to compliance. It's just been a little bit difficult getting the right company to take over the job and finish the job, and we're looking to get 60 days if that's okay with the city.
All right, so you're asking for 60 days?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Special Magistrate.
I apologize, I cut you off. If you want to go ahead and get the rest of your testimony on the record, go ahead.
I appreciate it. It'll be quick.
Yep, no, I apologize, that was my bad.
Thank you. Officer Brown, do you also have an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice was also posted at City Hall?
Yes.
We've been reviewing photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the observations of the alleged violations you've made at the property?
Yes.
And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, PAPA sheet, photographs, and then I just have also one question for the respondents. I missed the name of the gentleman?
My name is Andre, Andree. Last name is Jara, Jara.
And how is it that you're related to the respondent here?
We are the title company that handled the closing for Ms. Sheila back in '21. And yes, it's been going on for a while. So we ended up closing. At that time, they had a different supervisor, Mr. Restrepo. And for our conversation with Mr. Restrepo, there was I guess a temporary or seasonal inspector that for some, ended up passing the property. It shouldn't have passed, and then they retracted the passing of the work that was done on the property. Mr. Restrepo was no longer with the city, and that's how we've been communicating with Mr. Brown. And Mr. Brown's been very helpful, responsive. So basically, we're just looking to get this done, finalized for the homeowner, so the city and the homeowner can actually move forward.
One moment, please.
No problem.
And the name of the lady next to you?
Sheila Williams.
Oh, okay. And how are you related as an owner to Margaret Vess?
That's my mother. She's co-owner.
Okay. And does your mother understand that you're here today?
Yes, she does.
Okay, very good. Special Magistrate, I'd also like to just inquire briefly, was there a red tag issued?
Yes, there was.
And is that red tag in the file?
Yes.
Special Magistrate, the city would also like to submit a copy of the red tag as evidence. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you. The documents that have been testified about that I have reviewed, they are part of the record. Does the city have any objection to the 60-day request from the respondent to get this wrapped up?
No.
Seems reasonable to me as well. I have no problem giving you the 60 days.
Thank you.
I will accept the city's recommendation on the daily fines if the 60 days is not complied with, though. So, is there anything else you folks want to tell me before I
They're going to give us 60 days to comply with
enter my order?
the contractor. He'll finish the job
Okay, will there be any fines assessed on me?
after 60 days.
Not unless what the order that I'm going to enter is going to say is you have 60 days to correct the violation,
Okay.
and no fines during that 60-day period. If this is still in violation in 60 days, then daily fines will start to accrue,
Okay.
but not until then. All right, so a little housekeeping. The city has proper notice with the notice documents in the file. Respondent is also present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I will allow 60 days to cure the violation. After that, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. All right, thank you, folks.
All right, thank you.
Here's a copy of your
Thank
order.
you, Mr. Brown. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Next case number 9734 Ardmore Road, CE 22050115, number 9734 Ardmore Road.
Okay, go ahead, whenever you're ready.
Good morning, Your Honor.
We do have someone signed in.
Oh, we do have a respondent? I didn't see anybody getting up.
Last name Vergadam.
I signed in. I'm the next door neighbor.
Okay.
I'm not the,
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Joe Valdez, Building Inspector with the City of West Palm Beach. A stop work order was issued at 734 Ardmore Road. case number CE 22050115. The date of issuance was on 5/10/22. Notice of violation was put on September 16th. It was mailed on September 14th and posted on the property in City Hall on September 19th. The violation is for demolition to the structure without required permits, 105.1, and also required inspections, 110.3. There, and it was also cited for dangerous situation. So it's a property that's looks like it could fall at any moment. So
Thank
we
you.
need to take action.
I'm sorry?
We need to take action on this one.
Okay. Thank you, Officer Valdez. A couple of questions. Do you have an
Sure.
executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, I do.
And when you said it was mailed, do you mean it was mailed by certified mail
By certified mail, ma'am.
and by regular first class?
Yes.
And with respect to the photos that we've been reviewing during your testimony, do those photos truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Absolutely, yes.
Can you just describe a little bit briefly for us what it is you observed?
Well, it looks like they started to demo the lower section, and it's not properly braced, so it could, at any moment, if a wind hits, it could probably knock part of the house down.
Okay, thank you very much. And how many days are you seeking and what fine?
Well, I've given them 2 or 3 extensions at this point, so I feel that there was enough extensions given, so I feel that we should start fines right away at $100 a day.
And the neighbor indicated that she's here for this case. Ma'am, were you looking to tell us anything? Would you please tell us your name and address?
Nancy Vergadamo, 730 Ardmore Road.
And
My
were you-
house,
Were you sworn in?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
My house was the yellow house in the picture. So my house is located about 12 feet from this house. And that second story is being braced up barely. The second story is starting to tilt, and the home has been left, all the windows and all the doors have been left open and exposed to the weather for the last 2 years. And this house, I've lived there 37 years, and this house has been under violation from the city for probably 30 years, from the previous owner and now the new owner.
Thank you very much. Officer Valdez, have you had any communication with the owner once you posted the red tag or the notice?
I did, and he has applied for a demo permit, but not till I communicated with him about 2 weeks ago.
Has that permit actually been issued?
No.
Okay. And,
I'm sorry, did you say no?
No,
Okay.
sorry.
and do you know how long it might take for a permit to be issued?
If they have all their paperwork, it could be a month.
Okay, thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, PAPA sheet, a copy of the demo permit, discussed photographs, and red tag.
All right, those documents are all made part of the record. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent in this case? It does not appear there is. However, the city does have proper notice with the certified mail and the posting in the file. A couple of follow-up questions. I understood the testimony from the respondent's neighbor. This has been like this for a couple of years, is that?
I was not aware of it for a couple of years. I've been made aware of it in the last probably since when I issued the stop work order,
Okay.
me personally.
I guess more to the point, your testimony included a statement that was your observation that there was not proper bracing of the second story? Can you?
From what I couldn't get into the property, so from what I could see, it looks that way in my professional opinion.
I mean, in your opinion, is there a danger of this causing damage to the neighboring properties?
It could if a wind hit it,
Okay.
probably a good wind.
Okay. Once the, assuming people act in good faith and move forward in a reasonable manner, once a permit's issued, how long should it take for this demolition work to be?
Well, it depends the extent of the demolition. I don't think they're going to let them tear down the house because it's a historical house.
Okay.
So it's going to be partial demo. The most important thing for them to do would be to brace the house.
And that was going to be my last question. Would the demo permit include requirements to protect the neighboring property?
Yes, I think, yes.
Okay. Okay. Anything else from the city on this case? All right, I do find proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. I do find that the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to make a finding that the violation in this case constitutes a threat to public health, safety, and welfare because of the concern regarding bracing of the second floor. So I'm going to accept the city's recommendation. Did you say 30 days for compliance?
Yes.
I'll do that. But I'm also, and then after that, daily fines of $100 a day, I think is what you recommended. Is that what I heard?
Well, I was advised that I should recommend 500.
I have no problem with that. I think that, especially with the concern for the lack of bracing. However, I am also going to authorize the city after the 30 days to enter the property, abate that part of the violation in terms of bracing if you feel it's appropriate to enter the property, and brace it yourself and assess those costs against the property. Okay? All right, thank you very much.
Number 10 is rescheduled, 328 Cordova Road, CE 22050299. Number 11, 3805 Paseo Andalusia, CE 22060312.
Good morning.
Good morning, go ahead.
Joe Valdez, Building Inspector, City of West Palm Beach. This is a house at 3805 Paseo Andalusia, if I said that right. It was cited for installation of windows and doors without required permits, 105.1, and inspections 110.3. Excuse me, I have to look for some things here. Okay, the property was cited on June 16th, 2022, and it was given 2 or 3 extensions. It was given a notice of violation on September 16th. It was posted at City Hall on September 15th. And have not heard anything from the clients on this property, so I feel that we need to start finding this property.
Thank you. Inspector Valdez, just a few questions.
Sure.
Does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Absolutely, yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was sent by certified mail?
Yes, it does.
Was it also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it was.
Was the property posted?
Yes.
And did you post a stop work order or red tag?
Yes, I did.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged observations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
Can you just briefly take a moment and describe to us what it is that you've observed at the property? tell us what we're looking at in the photos.
Well, I observed that there was several windows and doors that were installed. And I looked online and there was no previous permits for any windows or doors. So,
So there's more than one window?
yes, there is more than one
Is there
window.
more than one door?
There is more than one door, yes.
Okay. Have they submitted any permits at this point?
They have submitted permits. Yeah, they have applied for permits. That's another issue. The permits they've applied for shows one window and one door. But obviously, there's more than one window and one door that was installed.
Okay, and have those permits been issued?
No.
Okay, very good. And how many days are you looking for, and what is the fine you're looking for?
At this point, I'm looking for a $100 a day fine, and I will give them, since they've applied, but I'll give them 30 days.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, a copy of the stop work order or red tag, photographs, and a copy of the permit applications.
All right, those documents are part of the record. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? The city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present, with the posting in the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next case, number 25, 1127 9th Street, CE 220709190. Number 25, 1127 9th Street.
Good morning.
Sorry. Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. The property case started on 7/15/2022. Certified mail was returned to us on 7/24/2022. Posting of City Hall and property was 9/22/22. I have spoke with the owner on many occasions. He has had the permit for the driveway has been issued as of 9/20/2022. Safe egress for the air conditioning in bedroom windows. He's still working on repairing of walls and foundation flooring in the unit. He's working on equipment for his more cabinetry and cupboards. Countertops is being worked on. I have not been able to get back into the unit to verify all the inside inspections, but let's see. Trash and debris has complied. Extensive growth has complied. Trash and litter and debris has complied. The ventilation in the bathroom, which is a vent fan that needs to be operational. Kitchen sink, and that's in regards to the preparation for more cupboards in that area of the kitchen. The toilet closet, the toilet had a flushing problem. The cooking equipment, and it needed more storage equipment around the stove area, plus countertops. The garbage placement, they did comply that. The overgrowth complied. Cleaning up one half of easement has complied. Above ground pool has complied. And the permit has been issued in regards to the driveway. I'm asking for 60 more days or $100 per day. And the property owner has been very cooperative.
Thank you, Officer Luster. Just a few follow-up questions. Do you have an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photographs that I believe we've been reviewing while we were listening to your testimony, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And just because you were going through it pretty quickly and it's a long list, can we
okay.
just double check and make sure of everything? 105.1, you said that the permit driveway was, the driveway for the permit for the driveway was issued, correct?
Yes, it has
So
been.
that is brought into compliance?
Yes, it has.
And can you tell me again about safe egress? I apologize.
You see the air conditions in the, that window? It's
Yes.
also in other windows, which are bedroom windows, and it's only one window. So he's in the process of having new holes drawn for the air conditions and remove them from the window.
Okay,
So we
thank
can
you.
have safe egress from those bedrooms.
Thank you. With respect to the floors, 18103B, what is the status of that?
That is because the house, it sits off the ground, so it sits on pillars, and the floors were soft. When I went in to do the inspection, I could feel myself moving, and he needed to go in and shear up the floor and redo the flooring.
And is that still outstanding?
Yes, it is. I have not been back in to do any of the inside inspections as of yet.
Thank you. The equipment maintenance, replacing the garbage disposal, installing cabinets and countertop, and the vent,
Not compliant yet.
not compliant. 18106A, clean and sanitary. I'm
Not compliant yet.
not compliant.
Mhm.
Sorry, was that
18106B,
complied or not
Has
complied?
complied. Sorry?
18106A complied,
Not compliant yet.
not complied?
Mhm.
18106B, excessive growth.
Has complied.
18106I,
Complied.
I'm sorry, it's a little hard to hear you, I
Oh,
apologize.
I'm sorry. Complied.
Thank you so much. 18906A, ventilation standards.
Not
because of-
complied.
I'm so sorry.
Not complied.
Okay, thank you. And 18971, the kitchen sink.
Not complied yet.
The toilet is running, 18972.
Not complied yet.
18979, storage space and countertop space.
Not complied yet.
I think you said garbage can, 7434A1J is complied.
Has been complied.
744C3 overgrowth complied.
Yes.
744C5 cleanup center of right-of-way complied.
Yes.
94304E1B above ground pools complied.
Correct.
And the 94485E is the driveway permit has
Complied.
been issued.
Yes.
So it is
complied.
complied?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
last one is,
Yes, because the
Yeah.
permit has been issued, and that's what,
Great.
that, he's obtained his permit, and he's already in the process of getting the driveway installed.
Thank you so much. There was a lot there, so I apologize.
problem.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, driveway permit application and issuance, and photographs.
those documents are made part of the record in this case. Good morning, sir. Let me go ahead and get your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
Eric Salama, 4285 Northwest 66th Place, Boca Raton, 33496, and I'm the manager of CIK.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Well, as she said, I'm working on it.
Sounds like it.
Now, the two only things that are left, one is like really easy. The other one I'm a bit concerned is the driveway. Because we pulled the permit and we were supposed to pour it on 9:30 or 9, whatever. The hurricane came and he says, oh no, we're out of the queue. It's gonna be on the 10th of October. I said, okay, whatever, it's already paid. So I'm a bit concerned now that when the hurricane season, if they give me 60 days and this guy, he can't make it on time, I don't want an accruing fine starting in 60 days.
Your driveway.
Because I'm not in control.
Yeah, but
I mean, the holes in the wall, that's a day's work, but I'll do them. The floor has been changed. I got the receipt from Home Depot here that I can show you. I mean, whatever needs to be finished, I'll finish that I can control indoors.
So you believe you can get everything done in 60 days, except the driveway may be a
Yeah,
problem because
that's
of
my-
material availability?
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned of, you know, the 60-day, the fine going.
Well, according to the city's testimony, since you have you're now under a permit for that, they're suggesting that that violation is taken care of.
Yes. Once your permit was issued, you're good.
I'm deaf.
So you just
On the
need to comply
driveway.
with the building permit at this point. So you're comfortable that 60 more days will take care of everything else?
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Very
All
good,
right.
very good. Yeah,
I
we're on the same
appreciate that.
page.
Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
All right. We have proper notice in this case. City's file contains the appropriate notice documents. Also, respondent is present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of the following code sections: 18100, 18103B and I, 18106A, 1896A, and 1897, 1, 2, and 9, but has complied with all other code sections that were cited. I will allow 60 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, though, there will be daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved, so make sure you get that wrapped up in the next 2 months. Okay? Thank you very much.
Very good. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Next case, number 27614 North Tamron Avenue, CE 22080284, number 27614 North Tamron Avenue.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This case started on 8/16/2022. Certified mail was signed for on 8/2022. Property was posted on 9/2022 and City Hall. I have spoke with Mr. Thompson on more than one occasion, and I'm asking for 30 days or $100 a day for securing vacant property. Boarding certificate has been obtained, so that part is complied. Trash and debris is outstanding, and repairing a fence wall is outstanding. It's not complied.
Thank you. Officer Luster, a couple of questions in follow-up. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to the securing of the property, the fencing, and the trash and debris, can you please tell us very briefly what you observed at the property?
The property had been breached. I don't know whom breached it, homeless, squatters, but initially, the front door upstairs was just laying there in the doorway, and it's still trash and debris around the property. The fence is in my opinion, total disrepair. So he did obtain the boarding certificate. He has since boarded the property, but the only thing is still unsecure is that front door. It was standing wide open yesterday when I went to do my reinspection for today's hearing, and the fence is in still disrepair and is still trash and debris on the property.
Just to clarify the record, there was one photo that had a chain link fence and a wooden fence. Are you speaking of the wooden fence?
The wooden fence, the chain link fence doesn't belong to this.
Okay.
It belongs to the vacant lot next door.
Okay, thank you. And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. Good morning, sir. Go ahead and put your name and address on the record, and then you can tell me about the case.
Good morning. My name is Bishop Jack L. Thompson of Delray Beach, 2590 Dolphin Drive.
Yes, sir.
The items that are in question, such as the 18-2128, to secure our windows and doors, and that one door was left open because I had a person who is there to help and take a look and evaluate on the last couple of days as well as yesterday to determine whether or not we can do some remodeling and et cetera to determine what is going to be the future of the property. All the other windows and doors have been complied with, painted, all the plywood as far as the doors and the windows, as I said, has been complied with. The trash, my problem is that we've called the police department on more than one occasion to go in and to assist because we have the place all posted saying that no trespassing, et cetera, which I paid for the placards from the police department several months ago. And yet we've had people violating this policy by entering the building as squatters, and I guess they're homeless, et cetera, et cetera. And at one occasion, the police said that they weren't going to go in because they didn't know whether or not the people had weapons, et cetera, et cetera. I just feel that when someone breaks into someone's property, they're in violation of policy. But every time we've gone there and tried to pad or lock up the building, for some reason they have gone in. I've had to pay for repairs where they went in and turned on the water. They were stealing water, they were stealing lights, but yet I have had to pay all these bills to the city utilities place here in this building. And so before what they call is, I think, is illegal use of water, for instance. So it's been a common and a serious problem. There have been up to at least maybe 8 or 10 people who have been living there when we go and check and try to get them out, et cetera, and they will leave. But yet within a couple of days after boarding back up, they took the woods, I would say the panelings down and got in. That's a problem that's ongoing, and I think that as far as that door, this week we will put a padlock on that door and give the gentleman a key so that when he goes in to look at and tear out carpeting and things, because I've had some serious issues in the building itself. And eventually I'm going to try to get rid of the building. And as far as the cleanup and the trash, it becomes this, it's like a local dump area. Everybody dumps their stuff. We had to have some things removed. There was engine parts and all kinds of stuff. I don't have any engine parts in that building. You know, it's just been a nightmare. So we have cleaned up that place. I don't know if her photo reflects the cleanup as far as the debris. And we have them on our phone, if you want to see them, that we've actually gone in and we have mowed the grass. We have removed all the trash. We had to pay to go to the city dump yard and dump all of those debris and things. It was just a nightmare. And at first, because of my illness, I was unable to monitor from Delray to this West Palm Beach what was going on. But now I'm in the process of monitoring it, and also I'm going to have to put it up for sale and just get rid of the nightmare. I don't need the issues anymore. So I don't have any reservations or any legal stance other than the fence. My question would be to the city, is there a legal requirement that the wooden fence has to be there? Why can't I just remove the fence? Because we put it back up and everything, and they've kicked out the panels to try to get in the building, et cetera. So is that a policy that the wooden fence has to be there? And if not, then let me just remove the fence.
Is that a question that?
He can remove it. You can remove it, Mr. Thompson. It doesn't have to be repaired if you don't choose to. You can remove it.
Okay.
It's in such disrepair, you may as well just remove it anyway.
So if it's there, it has to meet the minimum property standards, but
Or remove.
alternatively, it can be removed.
Yes, sir.
Repeat that again?
I said if you're going to keep it, it has to be maintained properly,
Right.
but according to the city, you don't have to keep it, you can remove it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And in all fairness to Mr. Thompson, this is a property that abuts Tamron Avenue, and it's in the section where the city's in doing the all of the pavement and the new roads on Tamron from 7th Street to Banyan. And being that that fence is where it is, that, I believe, has encouraged the homeless, the squatting, the debris collection, because they got a good place to hide stuff. So you might be working in your favor by removing the fence, and then you got a clear opening, because the police can't even access Tamron. I have to park on 6th Street and walk to Tamron, and then walk down to that particular property to find out all of these nuances that's going on with it, because the road is torn up. So it's hard for the police to monitor it, for the simple fact that they can't get to it. And if they're not getting out of their cars walking to it like I do, then they won't see that until it's after the fact or someone calls. Just all fairness to Mr. Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I believe you said you had some photographs that you wanted me to take a look at. Can you show those to Ms. Luster first, and then I'll take a look at them?
Photograph what the trash was like before. Right here is the back by the air conditioning. This is for the debris. This is the side that we cleaned up. This is the bags that we picked up in there. The fence we put back up, since then it was up. But this is how it look now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we cleaned all the debris up around the property, basically. And as he was stating earlier, for the door, you know what I'm saying, I had to go in, and I left it open yesterday. But what I'm gonna do, the door is secured, all the doors, all the property windows are secured, but I need access, so I don't wanna put a board over that one, because I'll be going back in it periodically to check on it, you know what I'm saying, a different thing.
Okay.
So, you won't have
Open issue.
open issue, and you won't have a board on the front door, but it will be padlocked and stuff that I can only go in.
Okay.
Because they had got smart with the boards up, they unscrewed the panels to the bottom and slid up under it and went in. So now I can just go in with a key and check and stuff like that, but all the debris has been picked up prior, so if they can drop that off of there, and all the boards has been secured around the windows and stuff like that. But we did pick up maybe about, 50 bags of trash?
Well, we got 250 boxes
Came
from,
back the other day and
Well,
there was
so-
some trash.
I just need you to show her the pictures, because
You did show him here.
everything, nothing you said is on the record. No, I'm happy for you to testify, but right now I just need the city to see the pictures. Is there any objection to the
No,
pictures
sir.
being made part of the record? Okay, let's take a look at what you got.
Let's show
Could've saved my hair.
you. Yeah, you could have.
That's the one of them.
Okay.
And then we go back to the other one, where it looked like prior to that, before we picked up. This is how,
Okay. Let me see the after picture again, please. Okay. All right. Now, what I'm going to need to be done is you're going to have to send those pictures to Ms. Luster by email so they can be made part of the record. Otherwise, they're not going to be in the file. So I'll need you need to be sure you do that if you want them to be.
I'll send it to him.
Okay. All right, sir, is there anything else that you'd like to tell me?
no, that's it, sir.
All right.
And then also, I'm not sure if we caught your name, if you could say it on record.
No, Timothy Boykins.
Okay.
You know, sorry about that.
I mean, it sounds to me like we're gonna take care of the fence and really have to do a good job of boarding up that last door. I don't know, maybe a padlock's not enough. I don't know. There may be
They can
better ways.
secure it in a way that the intruders will not be able to enter, then that's sufficient, as long as I don't go by and catch that door open again.
And I understand, everything that's happening based on what you've told me. But as you know, as a property owner, at the end of the day, the responsibility for maintaining it, even if it's vacant, is yours. Do you think you can get the fence either repaired or removed within the next 30 days?
Yes,
Okay. My suggestion would be you get that door secured, and then you need to have Ms. Luster come out and inspect the property to see for herself that the trash and debris is gone.
Absolutely.
And the fence is taken care of in the door, and then she can comply out the code enforcement case.
Okay.
All right, I just want to make sure you're comfortable with the 30 days. That seems reasonable to me. Okay. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
Okay. We have proper notice in this case with the notice documents in the city's file. Mr. Thompson is present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited with the exception of City Code 18265, which has complied. Will allow 30 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
You got a phone number?
It's case number 363718 North Shore Drive, CE 22080465. Number 363718 North Shore Drive.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On 8/26, I did receive a complaint of 3718 North Shore Drive. The property was being advertised for rent. I did then issued a notice of violation for rental tax violation and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted September 20th. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent August 29th. Certified mail was received August 31st. I've since been in contact with the property representative. At that time, Monday, we did try to conduct an inspection. The property did fail inspection at that time. As you can see, there's a lot that needs to be done. I was also accompanied by a building inspector. That way the representative could be notified of all required permits for the property. The owner is also and representative aware of the hearing today. With that being said, city's recommending 45 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. I also have members of the community that I believe wish to speak.
Good morning. My name's Major Retired Thomas Moody Mondu. This is my wife Cynthia. We're the adjacent property at 3712 North Shore Drive. I just want to point out a couple things, and then I want to turn it over to my wife. She's has a few documents we'd also like to enter into record. But after the stop work order was issued, which we had been contacting the city for nearly 3 weeks, and it took me having to go down and talk to the ladies up front and say, hey, who's the head guy? Give me the head guy, bring him out. And I ended up talking to the secretary and stuff. Our code enforcement rep, it wasn't you, it was our new guy. We had talked to him and he had passed up on, but we just hit a blank wall. So we went 3 weeks with that, and then so we finally started to get some traction, get some action. It's, hey, you know, what the heck's going on here with all these guys doing the work? But the main thing here is once the city got involved, they saw what was going on, they issued the stop work order. Okay, that means stop work, correct? Nothing is supposed to go on. What began to happen after that was that they would bring their workers to the property, drop them off, go park in the church or someplace else, take the stop work order off the door, and work all day. So we pass this information on. And it's continued like that with a flagrant snubbing of the nose, disregard for, your authority, everybody's code enforcement authority, permits authority. So investors from Chicago are snubbing their nose at West Palm Beach, and the representative, I believe, is living over on Palm Beach Island. So please take the flagrant disregard of your authority and what they think of you and what you can and cannot do into consideration when you suggest a minimal $200 a day situation. So it'd be one thing if he was here and say, "Oh gosh, we made a mistake," and bring it up to snuff, but they're not doing that.
My name is Cynthia Mondu. I'm the corresponding secretary, so I'm speaking on behalf of the neighborhood. We've got the president, Leslie, and some of the board members as well.
Okay.
So I have some documents here. Would you like me to,
Show them to Mr. McFarland, and then I'll
Okay.
take a look.
as he's doing that, I will go through my list here. We are very concerned as neighbors, of course. We live in a very quiet and serene neighborhood, North Shore. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but we sit on Lake Mangonia, which is the reservoir for the city of West Palm Beach. According to the legal records of this property, this is a 4-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom home. And as per West Palm Beach rental regulations, the maximum number of occupants is 10 people for a 4-bedroom home. The Airbnb was listed as a 7-bedroom home with 10 beds and 4 bathrooms for 18 people, suitable for gatherings of 25 people or more. So now we sit on the reservoir of West Palm Beach. How's the city going to keep that potty people, animals, whatever, from going into that water and creating something that we are not allowed to, because we're not allowed to really boat in there or swim or anything like that. So now we're having a potty house right next door to us. Granted, the house is super close, so we're gonna have to endure all that. So we're here to ask, one, that this license is not granted. That's number one. But the number two is, in regards to the renovations of the property, the work has been completed without permit, of course, and we know that. The city inspector observed this work and was denied entry to the property. They have paper in the windows so nobody can really see what's going on inside. They posted a notice of violation and a stop work order, but it never ended, sometimes even to 10:30 at night, on the weekends mostly, when city inspectors can't really observe the property. We have talked to Jeremy about it. I don't know if he's the owner. He told us that he's the owner of the property, so now I'm finding out I think he's the representative for the owner. So right there, the pool has no fence around. We have a granddaughter, we have dogs, the pool is open. The roof was redone, no permits. On top of it, you saw some of the pictures up on top. There's some glass balusters on top of the roof so people can walk into as a balcony. Those balusters are very, very close to our house. If we have a hurricane, that glass is gonna break and come into our property. So that's a huge concern for us as well. So again, we're here to plead that you do not grant permit for this property as an Airbnb, because there's so many consistent, how do I put this, untruth to how this person is conducting his business. So his credibility, I think, is out the door with all of us. And we're very, very, very concerned with that. So we also would like to ask the city to be granted entering to the property to really assess what the work has been done, because I saw that the drywall is closed. Well, they've done plumbing, electric, where the drywall is, one part of it, there was a kitchen island. I mean, we somewhat knew the neighbor, we're not super friendly, but we've been to the house before. We actually even went to the house when Jeremy bought it, and he showed us what he was gonna do. But from what we see here, there's extensive work that was done to this property without a single permit. but just the fact that he's completely ignoring all of the official orders, I mean, not just as a neighbor, but I think as a body, we really would like to plead the city that you do not grant this license as an Airbnb. He should just sell this house. This is a very nice neighborhood, because if we're gonna allow for a party house, hotel type of thing, then we might as well open a hairdressing salon next to our house, because this is not a commercial neighborhood, it's a residential neighborhood. So that's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else?
Special
Still your
Magistrate,
case, go ahead.
can I ask a couple questions? Thank you. Officer McFarland, just a couple of questions. Do you have in your file an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there also a pop-up printout sheet for the address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I think I saw that there was a Sunbiz printout as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had any communication with anybody from the property?
I have had communication with a Representative Jeremy Williams. When I did speak with him on Monday, he did state that there's a separate owner that lives in Chicago, and he's representing the property. On Monday, I did visit the property with Jeremy, building inspector. That way he can get all the information that he needs to obtain the proper permits, licenses, to have the property up and running safely and properly.
Did you also email the property owner with the notice
Yes,
of violation?
we did have several email communications with Jeremy. I haven't spoken with the property owner. I've been dealing with Jeremy. We've been emailing back and forth. We finally did get to meet on Monday. So Jeremy's well aware of what's required in order to pass the rental inspection and all building inspections and whatever permits are required. I did verbalize with Jeremy that he's required a permit to secure the pool, so he's well aware of that.
And did your notice of violation or these emails contain the proposed rental application that
Yes.
they could fill out if they were attempting to bring this into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
And as well, is there an Airbnb advertisement that I saw in the file? And is it your testimony that that's for the subject property, that they are holding it out for?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. The stop work order spoken of, that's not a part of this file, is that accurate?
No, it's not.
Okay. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents. Actually, Officer McFarland, the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged observations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, and it was hard to determine how many bedrooms that they're actually trying to do in this residence. So I can't testify to the number of rooms that are in this property. Now, when building brings their case before you, then that can be determined at that time.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, additionally, submitting as evidence the photographs, the Airbnb printout, the pop-up printout, the Sunbiz printout, the emails, and application attachment. Thank you.
All right, those are all made part of the record. Your witnesses, the neighbors who have testified, have also produced some documents that I've been provided as a city. Do you want to make those part of the record as well?
Yes.
All right, and then these documents are part of the record. Is there, I understand the only thing before me today is the issue of the certificate of use and the rental license.
Rental license, correct.
Is there another case that deals with the construction activity?
Yes, it's just has not been presented to you as of yet. Building is still working their case.
On the issue of the number of bedrooms, I understand, there's some conflicting information about that. When someone applies for the rental license, is that verified?
At the time of inspection.
Time of inspection.
But it really can't be determined because it's still under construction.
Understood, but
Right.
At the end of the day, when someone applies for a rental license, you're going to look and see exactly how many bedrooms and
Correct.
what's allowed and deal with that at that point.
Correct.
And that's handled through the process which is before me today, the rental license certificate of use process.
Correct.
Have there been an application made at this point?
Yes, there has been an application submitted and paid for. We just cannot get past the inspection process because it did fail.
Can I say
You
one
won't be
more
able to
thing?
get through the inspection process until the construction
Until,
is...
correct.
Okay, so, all right.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing, please?
Go ahead.
I know you were talking about the different number of bedrooms. I'm also a real estate agent, so I know that when you have a property, we look at the property records. The property records for the city is 4 bedrooms. So if they have more than that, that means that they created bedrooms in that house. That's not permitted. And then on the other thing is, how are we going to issue a license if the permitting of the house, how do we know that's going to be a safe house? With the electric and the plumbing and all the work that they've done, and now they covered the walls, so we can't even see what they did on the inside. So those are just some concerns that we have. And then I'm done with it. I'm done here, but I'll pass it on to somebody else if they want to speak.
It's up to the city.
That would have to be determined with the building department. Like I said, there's still an ongoing building case. So when that is presented, that can be raised at that time. I can't speak on that.
Okay. Did you want additional witnesses to testify?
Excuse me?
I'm told there may be additional witnesses that want to testify for the
Okay,
city.
yeah.
Would you want to have them testify?
Okay.
I have a question. Is there recourse within your authority, or if it's not yours, then to whom do we go, that we can have this denied, this Airbnb rental license denied? I get people need to make money, and that's capitalism, et cetera, but commercializing a residential neighborhood, putting our drinking water reservoir at risk, just the sheer parking volume for 18 to 25 residents, let alone 10, is going to be, it's going to affect everybody. Do your business, but don't do it at the expense of everybody around you. It's their driveway is directly across from the entrance for Bach Middle School. You know, I don't know. I get that me serving 27 years and looking for a place to retire, and me finally finding some water and buying it and getting in front of that doesn't have anything to play here. But good Lord, you know, let's not turn everybody's life upside down just so some bubbas from Chicago can make a buck.
Sir, if you leave your name and phone number with Erica she's down at the end there, I'm happy to talk with you about what that process is.
Great, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Leslie Perry. I'm the president of the North Shore Neighborhood Association, Inc. Association. I'm the president, and in fact, we had a meeting last night. And our grave concern is that when we hear of a house which is 4-bedroom, is being turned into 7 bedrooms. And as Tom just said, we look at a pristine, a nice neighborhood that is going to be changed. There's no doubts about it. If you have children on the street and you're having almost like a hotel on a weekly basis, the community now changed because you don't know people. You have a house, you have a neighbor, you have neighbors, even if it's rented. But when you're having this is like a hotel. That is all concern. And the fact is that if you have applications and applicants applying for permits, but they're doing it in a very scrupulous manner, because it's a 4-bedroom house, now they're looking to increase it to 7. So I'm looking at a hotel. So the community at large, our community, is very concerned that this is going to take place, because now the area, the atmosphere that we once had won't be the same. And Tom mentioned parking, and the busyness, the constant flow of traffic, it's all going to change. And then you have neighbors wondering, who are my neighbors now? Because there's no permanency in neighbors. It's a transition, a constant transition. So we're asking your due consideration on denying that permit for the A, B, and B. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Monica Morris. I am a resident of the neighborhood, and I'm not here anymore to speak about. I think everybody already heard everything that we all concerned about it. But we have an issue that we don't have a code enforcement in the area. I constantly call and I don't never have a call back. So I'm asking for solutions for our neighborhood. As people come and check, there is plenty of homes, 4910 North Shore Drive. There's cars every single day parked on the grass, on the back, on the front, on the swell, which is illegal. We have trash from the house all over. They work weekends. Code does not work weekends, as I believe. They say there is one guy on Saturdays, but we are having so many issues in our neighborhood it keep growing. People parking on the wrong spot. Homes has been putting garbage outside Wednesday, or, Wednesday we have garbage pickup, but along the week, and we have no code to respond. So I just want a solution for that problem. I don't even know who is Mark, which is a code that is I'm sorry?
This is Mark. This is
Okay.
Mark.
All right, hi. We call, but we never got a call back. And I just want a solution for all the issues that is happening. The Airbnb is one, but there is other. There's safe homes around, all along a neighborhood that probably has no even permit, but they are there. And thank you. Thank you for listening.
Does the city want to respond to, I've allowed a great deal of latitude here. We've gone way off topic in terms of what's before me today. I don't know if you want to respond to any of the neighbors' comments.
A lot of their concerns are going to be geared towards the permits, planning and zoning. All this stuff is going to be determined there. I can't make any determination what they're complaining of. I can only concentrate on what I'm bringing before you, and that's the rental license violation.
So I haven't been sworn in, so can you swear me in?
You swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I just want to say that, as far as Airbnbs being allowed in residential districts, that's what an Airbnb is. It's allowed by the state. So they don't put Airbnbs in, Airbnbs are mostly in residential districts, and I understand, but that's not something that the city can stop. We can't regulate the Airbnbs and tell them you can't be in a residential district. So and as far as the bedrooms go, when they come in for the permits, they're gonna have to have plans, and we're gonna have to see, and then there's gonna be a rental inspection, so we'll get to any additional bedrooms will have to be permitted, and that would have to go through a process, So everything will be covered, but once they have the permits and they have a rental license, we can't stop them from having an Airbnb if they do everything like they're supposed to. Or otherwise they're going to have fines. That's what this whole purpose of this hearing is.
Right. Okay. Anything? Yeah. We have one more neighbor. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Ron Dixon. I live at 3600 North Shore Drive, and we very much oppose the use of this property in its rental fashion as represented. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I appreciate all of you coming out. Is there anything else from the city on this case?
No, sir. Everyone's been notified. Building has gained access to the property, so everyone has been contacted on this property that's responsible for this property. So
okay. And before I enter my order, let me just take a minute. There's clearly bigger issues in this neighborhood based on the folks who came out than and there may be some misunderstanding of what is before me today. There's a very narrow and very limited issue before me today. What's been brought before me is the fact that there's a alleged property that is a rental property, and they have not obtained the appropriate permits to rent or a certificate of use to rent, and that's a requirement. And one of the questions I asked the city is, because it was brought up that there's some inconsistency in the information regarding the number of bedrooms and how many bedrooms are there and how many people can stay there. When the city goes through the exercise of requiring these permits and the certificates of use, those issues are addressed, and the city inspects the property and it determines how many bedrooms are actually in the property, what the occupancy codes allow in terms of the maximum number of people who can sleep there at night. That's what these inspections and these permits are for. Whether or not the property is used at all as a rental, and whether that's a long-term or short-term rental, that is a completely different topic for a completely different group of decision makers. It's not within my purview to say that they're allowed to do it or not allowed to do it. There are limited things that state law allows a local government to regulate. Vacation rental has been a very hot issue for local governments and dealing with the state legislature for many years. And the state continues to take away the ability of local governments to regulate vacation rental use. And I understand everything you're all saying, but there are, as was explained, there are very limited things the city can do because state law has taken the city's ability to regulate some of those things away. So, all that to say, and then we have the construction issues, which are not before me today either, but apparently that is in process, and the city is also working on that case in terms of stop work orders and people violating stop work orders and applying for the required building permits. So that is another case that is, from what I understand, in process, but that is not before me today. All I am here to rule on is the fact that the property is presenting itself as a rental property and it has not obtained the appropriate permits to do that. However, it seems to me the city has heard everything you've said. Ms. Frankenauer from the city attorney's office has offered to be in touch and explain the process better than I have, and listen to not only those concerns, but the general concerns about code enforcement. So what I'm going to do today is not going to solve your problems, but I think at least you got some folks' attention at City Hall. So all that having been said, for this case, I do find proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. The city has the proper notice documents in its file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation for not having an appropriate certificate of use or rental license. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 25 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved. Seems to me this is step one of a process. So step one is completed, and the city will be moving on to step two, I presume, and we will stay on it. Okay? Thank you, folks, for coming. Thank you very much.
25 days?
Pardon me?
25 days?
Yeah, 25 and 200.
Case number 384315 Brewster Lane, CE 22090160, number 384315 Brewster Lane.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On 9/16, the property at 4315 Brewster Lane was cited for repeat violation and trash can placement The property as well as City Hall was posted September 20th. Certified mail was sent and regular mail sent September 19th. Certified mail was received September 21st. The underlining case for the repeat is CE 22010352. In that case, compliance date was February 4th. Reinspection date, was February 4th, 2022. Property complied February 11th, 2022, which prompted a finding of fact in that case. I did have a conversation with that original case back then with the property owner as well as a resident at the property in regards to bringing in the trash can in a timely fashion. I did also speak with the property owner again in this case, and she is aware as what's going to transpire here. Her daughter is here to represent her today. With that being said, the property was out of compliance for 4 days. It did come into compliance on September 20th. That's 4 days out of compliance at $100 a day. City's recommending for a one-time fine of $400 in this case.
One-time fine of $400?
Excuse me?
Did you say a one-time fine of $400?
Yes, sir.
Just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Very briefly, Officer McFarland, is there also an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
We've been reviewing photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And just for the record, what is it you observed about the garbage can that you believe is a violation?
The number of days that the trash can has been found out in the view of public. As you can see, there's a number of different days that it's been left out. I was hoping that the conversation we had back in February would have gotten through, but it didn't seem to resonate. So that's why we're here today.
Thank you. The agenda that we have here in front of us today reflects that it was found out of compliance, and there's 7 listed dates, but you're asking for 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that that was accurate. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation in this case, as well as in this case, the certified mailing documents, affidavit of posting, photographs, and the underlying case upon which this repeat is based, that notice of violation, and the special magistrate order with finding of fact.
All right, those documents are made part of the record. Okay. And that's interesting. Kevin, the other magistrate, signed that order, but I swore I remember this case. Yes, ma'am.
It's because you did do one. The case is the neighborhood is similar, so that's why it's jogging your memory.
Could be. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
Good morning. My name is Deasia Northern. I reside in 4315 Brewster Lane. I am the daughter of the property owner. There's really not much to the case. I'm aware of our actions. I just want to pay the fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to put that garbage can away.
Yes, I will.
And I
do
mean,
so.
you know, just looking at not the zoomed-in picture, but all the other garage doors without garbage cans, so they just need to get that garbage can put away.
Yes, sir.
It's an expensive way to store your garbage can. But thank you for being here and acknowledging that. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Anything else from the city?
That's it.
Okay. The city has proper notice in this case. The respondent is also represented at today's hearing. I do find the property was in violation for 4 days between September, let's see, that would have been 16th, and that was the date of the picture, and then September 20th, there's the picture showing it complied. This is a repeat violation based on the February of 2022 case. And it's also noted that there were a number of other days that the property was photographed as being out of compliance. So I do find the property was in violation, that the violation was a repeat. I will accept the city's recommendation, assess a one-time fine of $400 for the repeat violation. You want to get that paid as soon as possible. If it's not, the city can record this as a lien against the property, and that would be something you'd rather not have.
Okay.
Okay? Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have it. If you want to write your email down, I can email it so you guys can pay it as soon as possible. You have to come here, unfortunately. Next case, number 2, 1749 Village Boulevard, number 106, CE 22050124.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. At the time this property was cited under the old code 18-162A. The property was posted, this case was rescheduled, and the property was reposted on 9/22/2022. Certified mail was signed for on 9/13/2022. City is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter. There is an active application in the system for a license, and I received a phone call from someone named Maria, a voicemail, from someone named Maria, and returned the phone call on 9/26 for inspection. To date, I have not heard back from this individual with regards to inspections.
Okay.
Thank you. Officer Levine, just a couple of follow-up questions. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And does it reflect that the notice of violation was posted at City Hall?
Yes.
And with respect to, I believe we reviewed a photograph. Do those photos or photograph, does it accurately represent the posting at the property at issue currently?
Yes.
Thank you. I apologize. Are there also any email communications in your file?
No, ma'am, just a voicemail on 9/26.
Okay, thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photos, and the rental application testified to.
Those documents are all part of the record. We don't have any respondents left in the room, but the city does have proper notice with the posting and the certified mail in the file. I will, based on the testimony and the evidence, find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Number 3 is complied, 215 Heron Place, CE 22090015. Number 4, 854th Street, CE 22070334.
City West Palm Beach Code, Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited July 28th. Certified mail was sent July 29th. Certified mail was received August 1st. City Hall was posted September 13th. This property was cited for trash debris, dumpster and screening, junk abandoned vehicle, and outdoor storage. Compliant violations are the junk abandoned vehicle. The remaining violations are trash and debris, dumpster screening, and outdoor storage. The city is requesting 25 days or $150 per day after.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
With respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, Do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
With respect to trash and debris, the dumpster screening, and outdoor storage, would you please tell us a little bit more about what you observed?
Right, there's trash on the curb, trash well beyond trash day. When it comes to dumpster screening, the dumpster's either pulled out onto the sidewalk or not in at all. It's not, the door they have for the front isn't closed. There's trash debris also scattered all over the property on both sides.
And I'm sorry, did I miss outdoor storage?
Yeah. A few images, you'll see buckets, you'll see all kind of indoor furniture outside. It's in a couple other images that are lined up, and that's just garbage that's been out there now for about over 2 weeks. But there's things that aren't related to patio furniture that are outside.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
All right, those are all part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the received certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code 34102A, which has complied. I'll allow 25 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $150 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 5625 Forest Hill Boulevard, CE 22090008.
Good morning, Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 9/1/2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 9/1/2022. Certified mail was returned on 9/8/2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 9/1/2022. There is an affidavit of posting in the case. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for 94-482-A, unpaved parking, and 2635 repeat violation. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city's asking for $50 a day from when it was first cited on 9/1/2022 until compliance is achieved.
I'm sorry, say it again. How the remedy you're seeking?
$50 a day from when it was first cited on 9/1/2022 until compliance is achieved.
And this is, okay. 9/1 until compliance. Okay.
Yeah, I went by there yesterday too, yesterday afternoon, and the cars were still parked on the grass.
I see. Okay.
Thank you. Officer Oliva, very briefly, is there a pop-up printout in your file that you used for mailing?
Yes.
Okay. And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've seen on the property?
Yes.
And you're doing this as a repeat, is that accurate?
Yes.
That's based on code case CE 22060010, is that accurate?
Yes.
And did that case cite for the same 94-482A regarding parking?
Yes.
And did that come into compliance, that case?
No, we just did a $75 one-time fine on the property, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't do
Okay.
anything else after that.
Very good. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation in this file, as well as in this file the affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, and photographs, as well a copy of the notice of violation and special magistrate order from the underlying case CE 22060010.
All right, thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. We'll find proper notice with the posting following the return to certified mail. Based on testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code 94-482A. Find that violation is a repeat violation, which was first observed on September 1st. I will assess daily fines of $50 per day, beginning September 1st and continuing for each day that the property remains in repeat violation.
Okay, number 6,
Thank you.
same property, 625 Forest Hill Boulevard, CE 22090009.
Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 9/1/2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 9/1/2022. Certified mail was returned on 9/8/2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 9/1/2022. There is an affidavit of posting in the case. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. The property was cited for 18-106-K landscape maintenance and 94-442-C-1 ground cover. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 20 days for them to come into compliance. If they do not come into compliance, then the city is asking for $50 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer Oliva, with respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations in this case that you've seen on the property?
Yes.
And can you just take a brief moment and tell us what it is that you have observed in this particular case?
Well, the grass is missing on the, if you're looking at the house on the left side of the house, from the cars being parked there.
Very good. And thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. The city has proper notice with the posting and the return of certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and evidence, I find property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 20 additional days to cure the violations. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Number 7, 2100 South Dixie Highway, CE 22080424.
Good morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 2100 South Dixie Highway was originally cited August 24th, 2022. Regular and certified mail was sent out August 25th, 2022. That was received August 30th, 2022. The property as well as City Hall was posted on September 12th, 2022, and an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file. To date, I've had no contact with the owner. They were originally cited for 18106B for the excessive overgrowth and 18215-B for failure to comply with this. As of this morning, all violations are still present on the property. The city is requesting for 5 days to bring the property into compliance, or city is requesting an abatement to go in and take care of the overgrowth.
Thank you. Officer Williams, just a few questions in follow-up.
ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do those truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've seen on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just describe a little bit about what we're seeing?
Sure, it's an empty parking lot there, and it's just been unkempt, trees and different, as you can see in the front, overgrowth. There's overgrowth of all the trees on the property as well as throughout the lot there.
Thank you.
And as well.
Thank you. Did you say that you were asking for 5 days or an abatement?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the abatement, do you believe that the conditions on the property rise to the level of a health, safety, and welfare violation?
Yes, ma'am. I've gotten complaints from the neighboring properties of different snakes and rodents that have been coming over from the lot there.
Okay, thank you so much. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, and photographs.
Thank you. Those were made part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting in this received certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I'll make a finding that the violation constitutes threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I will allow 5 additional days for the respondent to cure the violation. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violation, and assess the costs.
Thanks, sir.
Number 8 is complied, 2005 Dock Street, CE 22080499. Number 12, 627 30th Street, CE 22070173.
What happened to number 10? Is that complied?
10 I read is rescheduled, sorry, I read that earlier.
Scheduled.
Yes. So, what about number 12? We'll move on. Number 16, 2205 AE Isaacs Avenue, CE 22070256.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 2205 AE Isaacs was cited on July 22nd. Certified mail was sent out July 25th. City Hall on property was posted on July 22nd, and certified mail was returned on the 28th. This property was cited for failure to secure a building permit, clean and sanitary, excessive growth, landscape maintenance, certificate of use, rental license, and clean up to the center of the adjacent roadway or alley. I initially was in contact with the owner, and he stated when it was first cited that he was going to comply with everything. And since then, I have had no contact with him, and it is not in compliance as of today. So the city is asking for 30 additional days or $100 per day to come into compliance.
Thank you, Officer Underwood. A couple of questions in follow-up. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
And with respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
Did we see in the photograph that there are for rent signs?
Yes, there's a couple of them right there. You can keep going, keep scrolling. There's better pictures of it.
And are those signs still up, or?
The signs are not up anymore. They're not currently up, no.
Okay, and do you know whether it is being rented currently?
I have no way of knowing. There is still a lockbox on the door, on that side door right there, as of yesterday.
There's a lockbox?
There still is a lockbox on it, yes.
Okay. And can you briefly tell us about the actual alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Well, there's trash and debris along the whole property, as you can see. The grass is overgrown. The alleyway on the side also has a bunch of trash and debris, concrete blocks, a PVC piping, a bunch of stuff in the alleyway next to it. It's just not being kept up. There's the alleyway.
When you observed the property with the for rent signs, was there a lockbox at that point too?
Correct.
Okay.
But there has been additional cars coming and going that are different than in the original picture, so.
Okay. Did you say that you've had communication with someone?
Initially, yes, correct, I did.
And who was that?
It was Varus, Mr. Varus.
And did that person deny that it was intended to be rented?
Correct.
They did deny it?
Yeah, he said he's in the process of trying to rent it out and getting the permits. So he has the initial certificate of use started, but I haven't gone out to do an inspection to verify anything. He hasn't contacted me.
Okay. All right. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, Sunbiz printout, I believe we saw in the file as well, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record in this case. Based on the testimony, well, first of all, city has proper notice with the posting following the return to certified mail, even though a respondent is not present. Based on testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 17, 917 13th Street, CE 22080140.
Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property is 917 13th Street. It was originally cited August 8th. We sent certified mail out September 16th. property in City Hall was posted on September 16th, and certified letter was returned September 20th. I have not been in contact with this owner. It was cited for clean and sanitary, excessive growth, and cleanup to the center of the roadway. There's trash and debris all along the whole property. The grass is severely overgrown. And because I have not come in contact with the property owner, and this initially started off as a courtesy notice for 30 days, the city is requesting 15 days or $200 per day thereafter to come into compliance.
How many days? I'm sorry.
15.
15 and 200?
Yeah, we could, yeah. Can we amend that to 15 days or abate it?
Have no objection to authorizing abatement in this case.
Thank you, Officer Underwood. A few questions in follow-up. Does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
And I don't think I heard, was the notice of violation also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it was.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
With respect to your request for abatement, do you believe that the condition of the property is an attractive nuisance and otherwise attractive to potential pests and vermin?
Correct, yes.
All right. And do you believe that this condition of the property arises to the level of a health, safety, and welfare alleged violation?
Yes.
All right. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout, and photographs, and certified mailing documents.
I didn't hear the last thing you said.
I'm sorry, sir?
What did you say after photographs?
Let me do it again, just to be safe.
Oh,
The-
okay.
The notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the pop-up printout.
Okay. Those documents are part of the record. City has proper notice with the posting following the return of certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I will allow 15 additional days to comply. I do find, based on the evidence, that the condition of the property, it does constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. So after the 15 days, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 18, 913 13th Street, CE 22080141.
Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property address 913 13th Street is adjacent to, was cited August 8th. Certified mail was sent out September 16th. City Hall and property was posted September 16th. It was signed for and returned, it was not signed, it was returned September 20th. This property is being cited for clean and sanitary, excessive growth, parking, and clean the center of the roadway. I have not been in contact with this property owner, and the city is requesting 15 additional days or an abatement. The trailer? No, I did not.
Okay. Officer Underwood, a few questions in follow-up. With respect to this file, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they accurately and truthfully depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
Can you please tell us in a little bit more detail what you've observed?
The trash and debris is one of the main concerns on the property, along with, also with the overgrowth and just general neglect of the property.
Okay. And with respect to the vehicles, what are you referring to that you're seeing on the property?
There's a white pickup truck parked in one of the pictures. And there's different vehicles coming and going, on a daily basis. There's other pictures in there with other vehicles.
Okay.
If you go somewhere, yeah, right there, there's the white pickup truck. And there's sometimes a black truck there also.
And I'm seeing that those pictures are from October 4th, so you're still seeing that as of October 4th?
Correct, yes.
Okay. With respect to 94-482, the parking with the white truck, is that something that you're asking for a certain amount of days and a certain fine?
The city's requesting 15 days or $100 per day for that.
Okay. All others, would that be for the abatement?
Correct.
And do you believe that the condition of the property is an attractive nuisance and attractive to potential pests and vermin?
Correct, yes.
Do you believe that the condition of the property rises to the level of an alleged health, safety, and welfare violation?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record. I will find proper notice in this case. Even though the respondent is not present, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will find that the violations regarding trash and debris, excessive growth, and cleaning up to the center of the right-of-way constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I'll allow 15 days for the violations to be cured. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed for the violations of City Code 94-482A regarding parking requirements. For the other violations, I authorize the city to enter the property, abate, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 19, 909 13th Street, CE 22080143.
Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 909 13th Street was cited August 8th. Certified mail was sent out September 16th. City Hall and the property was posted September 16th. It was signed for and returned on September 19th. I have been in contact with the owner of this property. He was cited for clean and sanitary conditions, excessive growth, clean to the center of the right-of-way, and fence and wall maintenance. Since I have come into contact with the property owner and he is willing to comply with everything, we're going to give him an extra 30 days or $100 per day thereafter. But I feel he's going to comply with everything.
Thank you, Officer Underwood. Just a couple of questions in follow-up. Does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
Could you tell us in a little bit more detail what you've observed?
So the alleyway on the back side of this property is overgrown and it's difficult to drive a vehicle down it without hitting the mirrors in the truck and the vehicle, or the garbage truck that we have that goes down there also. The fence is in disrepair. There's broken top rail on it. There's holes in the fence, and trash and debris, obviously, in the pictures, which causes attraction for.
And you're referring to the chain link fence?
Correct, the chain link fence, and the top rail's busted off there. Correct. And the trash and debris that's on the ground. Those are the trees. Yep. And that's the front of the property where the grass is overgrown. That's the alleyway in the rear where it's hard to navigate through with a vehicle.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
All right, those documents are part of the record. Respondent is not present, but with the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited and allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Should we go back to number 12, 627 30th Street, CE 22070173?
Good morning, Alex Oliver, City Code Officer for West Palm Beach. This property was cited on September 2nd. Service was accomplished by mail on September 2nd. Certified mail was sent, and the City Hall and the property were posted on September 2nd. This was cited for 18103B, watertight structure. It was cited for lack of maintenance, 18106A. It was cited for alleyway maintenance, site 744C5, and missing address characters, and overgrowth as well. Um, So it was cited on September 2nd, but I had sent originally to them as a courtesy, an inspection report on July 14th, 13th, I believe it was. And I never heard anything from them. As you can see, it's not in really good condition. And after that, I was going to cite a month after that, but the neighborhood association, Dwayne White, it lives in that alleyway, and he requested me to give him time to get in contact with every single of his neighbors. I did that an extra month, and he wasn't able to. He emailed me later. You can see the email that he was trying to get in touch with them. And so after all that failed, and the owners never contacted me or anything, then I went ahead with the citation. Also, because of that was going on in the alleyways, which is what I was doing before, it was just alleyways. When I went to cite this property, I noticed also the front was bad, so I had to use a separate violation for that, which is not there. I have a case number for that, but it will be due next week. There's a lot going on with this property, and there was no contact whatsoever from the owner, so the city's asking for, maybe 30 days, just waiting for them to maybe contact us back, or $200 a day.
Thank you, Officer Oliver. A couple of questions in follow-up. Does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
With respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
I know what we saw in the photographs, but to make the record clear, could you just briefly tell us what it is that you saw about the structure
Yes.
that's in violation?
If you can see on, there's rotten wood in the corners of the roof. There's rotten wood on it seems like a little enclosure. There's mold growing basically everywhere in that. It's not only in the back, but in the front as well. There is just lack of maintenance at all, cleanliness. It's grass overgrowth. There's some type of fixture, they try to fix something and it's not properly fixed by the garage door. It's just very horrible. It's the side of the sides of the roof looks bad. Everything is just.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you observed trash and debris within the property?
Yes, there's trash and debris as well. Every time I went, there's 3 times I went to the property and took pictures. Every single time there was trash and debris in it.
And did you observe overgrowth and other type of landscaping debris?
Yes, the little it has is overgrown, yes.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, the courtesy inspection sheet testified to, photographs, and the emails as well testified to.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting and certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 13 is complied, 516 26th Street, CE 22070291. Number 14, 514 26th Street, CE 22070292.
Alex Oliver, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm. This property was cited on September 2nd. Service was accomplished by certified mail and posting of the property and City Hall on September 2nd as well. Certified mail was received on September 13th. The address is 514 26th Street, and this was cited for overgrowth in the alleyway maintenance, and missing address characters. I originally sent a inspection report as well for this property, and I had no contact with the owner. No callback, no, absolutely nothing, no email. And as of yesterday, the property is still in violation. Everything's a little worse than it was originally in. For these, we request an extra 30 days, hoping they will contact us back, or $100 a day.
Thank you, Officer Oliver. A couple of questions in follow-up. Does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And you talked about the courtesy inspection. Was that a courtesy inspection sheet that you
Yes, I
provided them?
Yeah.
Okay. And with respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed on the property?
Yes.
And can you just tell us in a little bit more detail what it is that you're seeing on the property?
Yeah, basically it's the alleyway. In the front of the house was fine. It's just the alleyway. And yesterday I noticed the fence was, I mean, I believe that's because of the storm, but that's new. But I mean, like, the trees are not untrimmed, they're blocking the cars. I mean, it's not a big tree, but there's leaves starting to get into the right of way. Like when I drive my truck through it, it actually starts brushing into the truck. And there's a lot of commercial vehicles going back because of the businesses next to it. So, and it's just, there's just garbage everywhere and zero maintenance.
And the address characters still are not
Yes, not posted yet. Yeah.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, courtesy inspection sheet, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the received certified mail. Based on testimony and evidence, I will find the property remains in violation. As cited, I will allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 15, 430 26th Street, CE 22070296.
Alex Oliver, Code Officer for City of West Palm. This property was cited on September 2nd. Survey was accomplished by certified mail and posting in City Hall and property on September 2nd. Certified mail was received. This was cited for trash on property, untrimmed trees, alleyway maintenance, and missing address characters. There has been no contact with the owner. Again, this was also an inspection report originally, and then I sent back a notice of violation after there was no contact whatsoever from the owner. The city is requesting an additional 30 days or $100 a day after that.
Thank you, Inspector Oliver. A couple of questions in follow-up. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Thank you. Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
And can you just describe to us a little bit more about what you observed?
Yeah, there's with this property as well, there's some trees going over the, getting into the alleyway right of way. There's like debris, like trash and garbage, and what it seems to be like a pipe, electrical pipe. But yeah, there's no contact. It's just, yeah.
And you've observed that there is no address characters to be found?
Yeah, there's no address characters as well.
Okay. Do you know whether or not that they would need address characters on the back, or no?
As of yesterday, they didn't have any.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, photographs, and the courtesy inspection sheet.
Those documents are made part of the record. Respondent is not present, but with the received certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 20, 801 34th Street, CE 22080389.
Is complied.
Number 21, 1029 25th Court, CE 22080410.
John Frosco, West Palm Beach, code for Jair Francis. This property was cited for no business tax receipt and certificate of use. Property was cited and posted on September 21st of 2022. There is a copy of the affidavit of posting and mailing in the file. I have personally inspected this property. There are photographs of the business, the signage that shows that they're engaging in business along with a commercial vehicle in the front. The certificate of use is not required for this particular type of business, so we can strike that. So the violation that we're addressing at this time is no business tax receipt. And the city would like to give them 45 days to obtain that certificate or the one-time $250 fine.
Thank you. Officer Frosca, just a couple of questions in follow-up. Does the executed affidavit of posting reflect that the notice of violation was sent by certified mail and regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Was the property posted?
Yes, it was.
Was City Hall posted?
Yes, it was.
And the photographs, based upon your observation of the property, do the photographs also truthfully and accurately represent and depict what you have observed on the property?
They do.
The business that we're talking about, is it this porta potty to go?
Yes, it is.
Can you just briefly address why a certificate of use is not needed here?
We have certain categories that we classify the businesses under, and those that particular business, the city does not require it.
Okay. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting and certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code 82144. The violation regarding certificate of use is withdrawn in this case. Did you recommend 45 days?
Yes, I would like to. I tried to call the owner because they did make an application, but I got a full mailbox.
Okay.
So I just want to say for the record that there could be other violations coming for this particular property. So based on what I've just seen, because I just got the case yesterday and I just did a review of it. The signage requires a permit, the storage, zoning review, and other issues. But I wanted to make that part of the record.
Understood. So other violations may be coming on a separate case.
Correct.
For this case, we will do a one-time fine of $250 if it's not complied within the 45 days for the business tax.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Number 22 is complied, 936 34th Street, CE 22080458. Number 23, 937 32nd Street, CE 22080482. That's complied. Number 23.
22 and 23 complied.
Number 24, 908 5th Street, CE 22070188.
Good morning. Officer Lester, West Palm Code. The property was cited on 7/15/2022, City Hall, and property was posted on 9/20/2022. Certified mail was signed for on 7/18/2022. I have met the property manager, Victor, at this property numerous times and also on 9/14. The property was cited for extermination of pests and rodents, external door on one unit needed to be weather tight, exterior painting of buildings, clean and sanitary conditions, landscape required for all open spaces, junk and inoperable vehicles, garbage can placement, overgrowth, cleaning up one half of alley easement to the right of way, fence and or wall repair, landscape areas of all landscaping that's missing, sorry. And landscaping of swale and or parkway, pave and mark parking, outdoor storage, safe egress for as air conditionings in windows, bedroom windows, and providing screens. The only violation that's in compliance is the one unit door that was in disrepair, and he has repaired that one unit.
Which one was that?
It was 18103E, external doors and windows. Excuse me? You got that? You got that? You heard me?
Yeah,
Did
no,
you
I
hear
got
me?
it. That's the only one that complied?
Yes, sir.
Got it.
I'm asking for 60 more days or $100 per day.
Thank you, Officer Lester. A few questions in follow-up. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe a little bit more about what you've observed?
Okay, this property is in disrepair in so many ways. The entire building needs painting. The back parking lot, which is a button alley, needs to be resurfaced and marked. Junk and debris is a constant on the property. The landscaping is in terrible condition. It's a lot of areas that just don't have anything but dirt. The egress is that there were a lot of air conditioning units in bedroom windows with only one window for exit. The fencing is in disrepair, and the swell area is between the sidewalk and road. It's nothing but dirt.
Thank you. Just a couple more questions. This is a multi-building property?
Yes, ma'am. It's 5 units in each building. On the Palm Beach County records, it's only listed as 908.
Okay.
But it's two buildings on this one parcel.
Okay. And the building or buildings that need to be painted, is it just one building or more?
No,
than one?
both. Both were cited.
Okay. And what is it about the paint that you believe needs to be?
It's decaying and it's in bad shape. I mean, even around the fascia, where you can see it's just worn. It's worn.
Okay. And
Where,
with, I'm
where
sorry.
they did repairs and didn't paint the areas that they repaired, stuff like that.
And with respect to the junk or abandoned vehicle, what were you observing on the property?
In the rear parking lot, on the alleyway, there were 2 vehicles that had flat tires and 2 without tags.
Thank you. With respect to the fence, is it a chain link fence that we were seeing? Is
Yes,
that what
ma'am.
you're referring to?
Chain link fence.
Thank
And
you.
it's just in disrepair. Throughout the property, you'll see where it's in need of maintenance.
Thank you. And then the safe egress and the windows, can you talk a little bit about all of that?
Yeah, here again, they have air conditioning units sitting in bedroom windows that only have one window in that bedroom. So we have to have egress.
Okay. And then I may have missed it. Are there missing screens on
Yeah,
windows?
screens need to be provided, or at least on site.
Okay, very good, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. The city has proper notice with the certified mail and posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the evidence, I will find that the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code 18103E regarding the external door, which has complied. I'll allow 60 additional days for compliance with the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 26 is rescheduled, 1509 6th Street, CE 22080265. Number 28, 716 7th Street, CE 22080369.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property case started on 8/2022. Certified mail was returned to us on 9/6/2022. City Hall and property was posted on 9/22/22. No contact with owner thus far. I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day for the following. External doors and windows. It's a real utility room, and the doors are they're falling off. I mean, they're completely rotted away. Clean and sanitary conditions of the property, excessive growth, trash, litter, and debris, garbage can placement, overgrowth, cleaning up one half of right-of-way to mid right-of-way, repair of fence and/or wall, landscaping of all open spaces, and landscaping of parkway swale.
Thank you. Officer Luster, a few questions and follow-up. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. With respect to the alleged violations, could you just tell us a little bit more about what you've observed?
Okay. Let's see. That is the swale in front of the property between the sidewalk and the road. It basically has been in that condition for a long time. It needs to be some dirt needs to be put in it and sod needs to be placed in it. And the overgrowth on the property is throughout the property for the areas that have weeds, and they need to landscape the property. That utility area in the back, the door is just rotten. It's not even hanging on real well. What else is on here? Garbage can placement is always a problem because it lives at the road most of the time.
With respect to the fence, there seems to be several fences we're reviewing. Which one?
It's
or
going
what
to
are
be
you
that
referring
one, the wooden fence that is between the property. You see that one? The hinges are broken off of it, so that's why it's leaning in the manner that it's leaning. The wall fence is in pretty good condition, and so is the porch railing.
Okay. And the landscaping?
Needs the landscape, open spaces, and nothing but dirt.
Very good. Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Documents are made part of the record with the posting following the return certified mail. The city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Number 29, 1333 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, CE 22080006.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 1333 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, was cited for rental license and a certificate of use. This property was cited August 1st of 22. Certified mail sent on August 24th of 22. City Hall posted, and the property posted on September 13th of 22. No contact with the owners of the property. So I'm asking 10 days to comply or $100 a day after that.
100, did you say?
Yes,
Thank
10,
you.
100.
Okay.
Thank you. Officer Williams, a couple of questions in follow-up.
Yes.
Does your file include an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that's in the file, does that accurately represent posting on the property for the property 1333 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard?
Yes.
And is there a rental license application that has been submitted?
Correct. And they have been paying it yearly, but no inspection has been done. So it's actually on hold.
Very good, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, photograph, and the rental license application.
All right, those documents are part of the record. City has proper notice with certified mail and the posting, even though the respondent is not present. I do find property remains in violation as cited, even though an application has been made, inspections still have to be done. I'll allow 10 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 30, 1900 North Congress Avenue, Unit 106, CE 22080010.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 1900 North Congress Avenue, was cited for rental license and a certificate of use. I actually cited this property on August 1st of 22. Certified mail sent out August 24th of 22. Property posted in City Hall September 13th of 22. No contact with the owners of the property. I'm requesting 10 days or $100 a day after that.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photograph that we reviewed, does that truthfully and accurately depict the posting at this property?
Yes.
And is there an application, a rental application on file?
It is, yes.
All right. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, photograph, and rental application.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. City has proper notice with the posting and certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation. As cited, I'll allow 10 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 31, 3703 North Flagler Drive, CE 22080014.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 3703 North Flagler, cited for a rental license and certificate of use. Property was cited August 1st of 22. Certified mail sent out August 24th of 22. And City Hall and the property posted 9/13 of 22. No contact with the owners of the property. Requesting 10 days or $100 a day after that for fine.
Thank you. Officer Williams, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And with respect to the photograph, is that a truthful and accurate depiction of the posting of the notice of violation on the property in question?
Yes.
And is there a rental application on file?
It is, yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, photograph, and rental application.
Those documents are part of the record. The respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting and the certified mail. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 10 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 32, 1029 21st Street, CE 22080122.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 1029 21st Street, cited for a rental license and certificate of use. That property was cited on August 8th of 22, and certified mail was mailed out August 24th of 22. City Hall and the property was posted 9/13 of 22. No contact with the owners. I'm requesting 10 days to comply or a fine of $100 a day after that.
Thank you. Officer Williams, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
It does.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And is there an application on file for a rental application?
It is, yes.
And the photograph that we're reviewing, does that photograph accurately represent the posting of the notice of violation on this property?
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, photograph, and rental application.
Those documents are part of the record. The city has proper notice with the posting and certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation as cited. I will allow 10 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 33, 514 26th Street, CE 22080124.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 514 26th Street, cited for a rental license and a certificate of use. The property was cited August 8th of 22. Certified mail was sent out August 24th of 22. And the property in City Hall posted 9/13 of 22. No contact with the owners of the property. Requesting an additional 10 days or $100 a day fine after that.
Thank you, Officer Williams. In follow-up, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Is there a rental application on file?
Yes.
And is there a photograph? And does this photograph truthfully and accurately represent the posting of the notice at this particular property?
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, photograph, and rental application.
Those documents are part of the record. With the posting and the certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation as cited. Allow 10 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 34 is complied, 824 Blue Ridge Circle, CE 22080296. Number 35, 4225 45th Street, CE 22080404.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On August 26th, the property at 4225 45th Street was cited for landscape maintenance, remove all dead vegetations throughout property, swales and parkways, swale to be maintained by adjacent property, and landscaping of swales and parkways. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted September 20th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent August 24th. Certified mail was received August 27th. I have been in contact with a representative of Walmart. They have taken some action, but the landscaping of the swale has not been completed as of Tuesday. So with that being said, the property has come into compliance with the landscape maintenance. The only thing that remains is the swales and parkways and landscaping of swales and parkways. City's recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $100 a day to compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Do the photographs that we've reviewed truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe you said that the swales, maintenance of the swales and appropriate ground cover for the swales is still outstanding. Could you just describe for the record a little bit about what you observed?
This portion of the roadway here, it used to be a haven for tractor trailers, other big vehicles to park. We finally got that under control. Those vehicles are no longer parking in this area, but due to the excessive parking, it has killed the landscape that's in the swell area here. And I did have a conversation with the representative of Walmart and their contractor that's supposed to come in and take care of this violation, and they're aware of what needs to be done. Just to add, Sam's also had a similar situation that they did take care of, so I did tell them to just take a look down the street and they'll have a nice reference of what needs to be done. So they're well aware of what needs to be done.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, PAMPA printout, Sunbiz printout, photographs. Thank you.
Those documents are part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited, except for City Code 18106K has complied. I'll allow 30 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 37, 1070 36th Street, CE 22080466.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. On 8/26, the property at 1070 36th Street was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted September 20th. I do have an affidavit attached in my case notes. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent out August 29th. Certified mail was received August 31st. I have since been in contact with the property owner. They have since made application for the rental unit. However, we're still waiting on an inspection of this unit. I did have an email correspondence with the owner requesting additional time so we can set that inspection. So with that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, with respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged observations that you've seen on the property and posting of the notice of violation at this property?
Yes, ma'am.
And we reviewed also an internet posting that reflects that the property is being held out for rent. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, PAMPA printout, the rental application, and the internet posting.
Those documents are part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation as cited. I will allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 39, 501 Pilgrim Road, CE 22080350.
Good morning. Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 18th, 2022. Certified mail was sent out August 19th. It was signed received September 19th. This property was cited for 18103E, 18106A, 18106B, 7434A1H, 78-6-2, 94442C1, 94442E, and 9471C. As of yesterday, all violations have complied except for 94442C1, landscaped areas must be grass, and 94442E, landscaping of the swale. I have had contact with the owner late September. She has taken care of all the issues, like I stated. She understands the ordinance, and she just needs some more time to get the grass in there. The city is recommending 45 additional days to comply those two violations, or we are asking for a $100 a day fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Pazmino. Thank you. Officer Pasmino, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
Was the property in City Hall posted?
Yes, they were.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that still remains on the property?
Yes, yeah, there's photos from yesterday showing the areas that
Okay.
are in violation and need grass.
And additional photos showed the alleged violations before they came into compliance too as well?
Yeah, the initial inspection photos show all the previous violations that are now complied, and the recent photos show that they have complied.
And just briefly, what we're looking at in a photograph, is that what you're referring to? That's still out of violation is a lack of ground cover and bare dirt in the swale and in the yard?
Yes, my initial inspection, and when I created the case, I didn't witness unpaved parking, but that's the cause of the grass dying, being bare, and those are the areas of concern.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Okay, those documents are part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation of City Code 94-442C1 and 94-442E, both regarding landscaping. I find all other violations that were cited in the notice have complied. I'll allow 45 additional days to cure the outstanding 2 violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 40 is complied, 412 Plymouth Road, CE 220800470. Number 41, 420 Plymouth Road, CE 220800483.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 26th. Certified mail was sent out August 29th, and it was signed received August 31st. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on August 29th and sent via regular first-class mail. Affidavit of posting is in the file. This property was cited for 18106B excessive growth, 94-442C1, landscape areas must be grass, and 94-442E, landscaping of the swale must be sodded. I've had no contact with anyone from the property. Sod has been installed in the bare areas, so as of yesterday, 94-442C1 and 94-442E have complied. The overgrowth is still outstanding. The city's recommending 10 additional days to comply, or we're asking for a $100 a day fine until complied.
Thank you, Officer Pasmino. With the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations on the property?
Yes, they do.
With the excessive growth, can you just describe a little bit about what you observed?
Yeah, the grass on both the east and west side are overgrown.
Okay. And is there anything about any of the trees or anything, or is it just the grass that we're talking about?
That hedge was overgrown. It looks like they cut it.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation of City Code 18106B regarding excessive growth, but has complied with the other code sections that were cited in the notice. I'll allow 10 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 42, 627 Bunker Road, CE 220800485.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited August 26th. Certified mail was sent out August 29th. It was signed received September 6th. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted August 29th and sent out via first-class regular mail. Affidavit of posting, mailing is in the attachments. I've had no contact with anyone from this property. This property was cited for a certificate of use required and rental license required. The property is still occupied. The previous rental listings are online and attached. There is a current for sale listing online as well, and it states there are tenants that are not aware of the sale, and there are no applications in our file, in our system. The city is recommending 30 additional days to come into compliance or a fine of $200 a day.
Thank you, Officer Pasmino. The photographs of posting that we observed, are those photographs accurately representative of the posting at this location?
Yes.
And you talked about the listing for rent as well as being for sale, and we reviewed a couple of other documents. It looked like perhaps maybe utility summary?
Yeah, there was a screenshot of the utility, the owner. It's under the old owner for some reason, and the bill is current, so they're paying it still. But it also shows right there that there are like 3 units at the property.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, photographs, the printouts listing for rent, the printouts of the utility summaries, and that should be it. Thank you.
Those documents are part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number
Thank you.
43 is complied, 620 Rockland Drive, CE 220800579. Number 44, 244 Coniston Road, CE 22060270.
Good morning, Sonia Benz, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 22nd, 2022. The notice of violation was posted at City Hall and property on June 28th. Certified mail was sent on June 24th. This property was cited for missing sod in areas where artificial turf was placed, as well as the location. I have not made contact with the property owner. As of yesterday, codes 94-451A4 and 94-451D are now in compliance. However, code 94-442C1 is still out of compliance. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer Benz. A couple of questions and follow-up. Does your file contain an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Correct.
The remaining violation, was that there in the front yard? And I think you had said that it's the area that has no sod or landscaping on it because it was under the artificial turf that was removed. Is that
Correct.
accurate? Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record. With the certified mail and the posting, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 60 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 45, 3025 Georgia Avenue, CE 22070051.
Sonia Ben, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on July 8th, 2022. The notice of violation was posted at City Hall on property on July 12th, 2022. Certified mail was sent and received on July 8th, 2022. The property was cited for installation of fence without permit, inoperable vehicles, a trailer being parked on the property without properly screened, and outdoor storage. I have not made contact with the property owner. As of yesterday, the property is still in violation for codes 1051, 11, 0.1, 34102A, and 9471C. Code 94487B48 is complied. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer Benz. A couple of questions and follow-up. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Correct.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
With respect to the fence, can you please describe which fence is the one that's been installed with no permit?
Correct. And there's another photo that show that it's a newly installed fence as well.
Is it that fence?
Correct.
Okay. So it's a brand-new looking wooden fence?
Correct.
Okay.
There's no permits on file for any form of fencing.
Oh, so it would also be that two-tone brown one that we also
Correct.
saw? Okay, very good. And with respect to the junk or abandoned vehicle, could you just describe for the record what you observed and how you know that makes it junk or abandoned?
So in the photos, I took evidence of the license plate that was expired,
Okay, very good.
as well as another photo with no license plate at all.
Okay. And you said that the outdoor storage remains. Could you just briefly tell us about what you observed?
So the outdoor storage in the photos, there's excessive outdoor storage underneath the carport as well as around the property. You could see plastic buckets, coolers. You could also see car parts and other items. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record. With the posting and the certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code 94-487B4A, which has complied. I will allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 46, 3109 Robert Road, CE 22080059.
Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 3rd, 2022. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall and property on August 4th. Certified mail was sent on August 4th, 2022. This property was cited for codes 18106A, 9442C1, and 9451A4. I have not made contact with the property owner. As of yesterday, code 18106A and also 9471C are complied. Remaining codes that are still out of compliance are 9442C1, 9451A4, 94451D, and 94482A. The property, in the photos you observe areas at this property that missing sod. There's artificial turf that are being placed in the wrong location at the property. There are also unpaved parking and also outdoor storage. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer Binns. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
With respect to the artificial turf, where have you observed that?
I'm sorry, you're asking where it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in the front of the property. So in the photos, like right before you get to the front door, right there, and also to the right, there are artificial turf.
Okay. And with respect to the landscaped areas must be sodded or have ground covering. Can you just describe that a little bit?
Okay, so areas where there's areas on the side, front side, well, yes, and also the areas where the artificial turf are placed are missing sod in those areas once it's removed.
Okay. And the unpaved parking, is that the white van that's in the photographs?
Correct.
Thank you. And can you just describe briefly the outdoor storage?
Okay, so in the photos you see car tires, recycle bin, plastic buckets, as well as different car parts.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
All right, and just so I'm clear, the clean and sanitary complied, is that the only one?
Yes, and also the outdoor storage.
9471C is complied as well.
Correct.
Okay, respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, except the property has complied with City Code 18106A and 9471C. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 47, 323 Kenilworth Boulevard, CE 22080119.
Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 8, 2022. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall and property on August 8, 2022. Certified mail was sent and received on August 8, 2022. This property was cited for codes 18106A, 7434A1H, 944462B, and 9471C. I have made contact with the property owner. In the photos, you're able to see violation of dead vegetation, visible trash can, overgrown of hedges, and also outdoor storage. As of yesterday, the property is still out of compliance for code 18106A and 7434A1H. Code 944462B and 9471C are now in compliance. The city is requesting additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer Binns. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Correct.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. So everything is still outstanding, and there's nothing was cured. Is that correct?
No. To correct what codes 94462B and 9471C are complied.
They did comply those. All right, based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation of City Code 18106A and 7434A1H, but has complied with the other code sections cited on the notice. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
And lastly, number 48, 3325 Georgia Avenue, CE 22080521.
Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 30th, 2022. The notice of violation was posted at City Hall and on property on August 31st. Certified mail was sent and received on August 30th. The property was cited for codes 18106K, 7894C, and 9471C. I have not made contact with the property owner. The property is in compliance for code 18106K and 7894C. As of yesterday, code 9471C is still out of compliance. The city is requesting an additional 15 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer Binns, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Correct.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Correct.
With respect to the outstanding outdoor storage, could you tell us briefly what you observed?
So in the photo, you will see empty boxes, empty flower pots, recycle bins that are being placed. There is a mat in public view, and also coconuts that are being stored on the side of the property.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. City has proper notice with the certified mail and the posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation of City Code 9471C, but has complied with the other code sections cited in the notice. I'll allow 15 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, before you adjourn for this particular agenda, on number 2, on the first page of the agenda, 1749 Village Boulevard, number 106. I'm not sure that you indicated on the record 18162A has been renumbered.
What's the correct, remind me the correct code section?
I'm sorry.
Remind me of the correct code section?
It is now 22-441.
Yeah, that is reflected on my paperwork, so we just
Excellent.
need to reflect. It's the same violation that got populated to a different section of the code.
Thank you so very much. That's CE 22050124. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes the 9 o'clock agenda. We've been going for about 3 hours. Does anybody need a break before we go to the 11:30? Or do you want to press on? All right, let's just move into it then. All right, we are moving on to the reduction hearing agenda this morning. If you're here for a request for a lien reduction, and you're going to be speaking to me about the case, I need to swear you in. I can swear everybody in at the same time. If you'll please stand and raise your right hands. Each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you very much. When your case is called, please come up to the podium to my right. The way we'll proceed is that I'll get some background information from the city first regarding the request. After I've heard that information and any recommendations that the city has for how to resolve the matter, I'll then come back over to you and you can tell me about your request for the reduction. Once I've heard everything, I will, in all likelihood, enter an order today on the request. So let's go ahead and get started.
Number 1, 1549 39th Street, CE 06040255, along with number 2, same address, CE 21080133.
K06, K06-004-0255 was cited on April 12, 2006 for repairing of roof, walls, and foundation, exterior paint required, landscape maintenance, parking requirements. The property was taken to hearing on July 28th of 2006. The property was given an additional 30 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property failed to comply with the magistrate's order and was out of compliance for 5,671 days, resulting in a lien amount of $567,100. The applicant was not the owner at the time of this violation. For this particular one, the city is only seeking 2%. For case CE 21080133 was cited August 11, 2021 for exterior paint, garbage can placement, clean and sanitary, landscape maintenance, and outdoor storage. The property was taken to hearing on September 15, 2021. The property was given 30 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property failed to comply with the magistrate's order and was out of compliance for 133 days, resulting in a lien amount of $13,300. The applicant was the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Just if you could, I'm not sure I heard correctly on the,
Yeah.
so it's the same owner on the 2021 case, but it's a new owner for the 06 case?
Yeah,
It
it's
changed
this-
ownership in between?
I didn't hear the last part.
Changed ownership in between the two cases?
Yes, they did.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the first one, she bought the property with the violation, but it was not caused by her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to put on record. I did speak to Ms. Gonzalez, and we did speak about the first property. I'm sorry. And she brought up the fact that she did do a title search, but apparently the company dissolved or something of the sort. They're not able to locate the company to show proof that they didn't properly do the search. She did submit that as part of her paperwork, so I did want to put that on record.
Okay, and then I heard you made a recommendation for 25% on the 2021 case. Did you have a recommendation on the 2006 case?
Yeah, the city's recommendation was 2%.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yes, ma'am, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Excuse me. Good morning, my name is Yanette Gonzalez. I am the homeowner and the landlord for the property located at 1549 39th Street. I'm here to ask for a leniency reduction on these two cases. The first one for $500,000, which I had no idea was there until the city did the search on the second property, and that's when I was told. When I purchased the home, I purchased it free and clear from the seller, and I have the warranty deed. I have the paperwork attached that doesn't show that there was anything, so I was never aware of it. However, whatever was noted on there for the eaves and the roof, whatever, I took care of that when I purchased the home. So that's for the first issue. The second one was the issue of parking and garbage and the lawn. Unfortunately, I leased the property out to a single mom who was under Section 8, and she eventually became somebody that I cared for, and she abused the friendship by not adhering to the violations I kept getting. And then in 2019 when COVID hit. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to get emotional. Unfortunately, when it rains, it pours. My husband was diagnosed with tonsil cancer. The following month, my dad was prognosed with prostate cancer. And with that, then my mother had a heart attack and she had stents put in her arteries. And I'm the only child, so I take care of them. They're in their 80s. I don't work. My husband does. So he had to stop working. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And I guess I didn't put the lawn or other stuff as a priority. And then I was diagnosed with lupus. So I'm just begging the court for leniency because financially I'm really not in a very good space now. I've tried to do mostly everything I can. They've gone out there, they've inspected it, everything looks to meet code approval. So again, I'm just here to ask your magistrate to please, I'll work with the city if I have to take a loan and work with you. But the good thing is that my husband's okay now, my father's okay, my mom's okay, and I'm still a little sick.
Well, the health issues sound like they're heading in the right direction. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
A question, when you purchased the property, it looks like in 2009, did you have to do did you say you did the work to repair the roof and
Well,
all of that?
I didn't see there was anything wrong with the roof. I didn't notice anything. What we did, we painted the house, we replaced the eaves. So a lot of the external work as far as that was
I guess that's
concerned.
what I'm talking about. You replaced the eaves. That's what it said. There was some rotten wood, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, like for an entrance, there was rotten eaves and we replaced it.
Did that stuff yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And then,
And since I was never aware, I never made the
say
city
when you-
aware that.
So, I mean, it sounds like you did your due diligence, but you were given information that was not completely accurate regarding the 2006.
Yeah, I was never told that there was anything outstanding on the home, when I purchased it. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from the city on this one?
That's
Or
it,
these
sir.
two? Okay. What's in the city's records? When did the first case come into compliance?
Miss Yanette, she's actually the one that complied it when she called us. It was March 8th of 2022.
I guess you didn't comply that until you dealt with the second case, because
The second case was actually complied before that one. The second case was actually complied on February 28, 2022. And I guess this case was discovered after, and then that one was complied March 8th of 2022.
So the compliance came about because the file
Because
was
of the-
discovered, not because that's how long it took to get the work done.
Yeah, that's when it was discovered. Like I said, this was back in 2006. It was under a previous owner. From my work with Miss Annette, she has been complying with everything we've asked her to.
All right. I haven't looked at any of the other cases. You're probably going to get the deal of the day today.
No, I already got the deal of the day with my family. Trust me, that was having them around is still.
All right, well, based on what I've heard in terms of certainly the first case, it sounds to me like you fixed the issues that existed when you acquired the property. That code enforcement case was just kind of sitting in the files and nobody really knew about it. What I'm going to do, because we do have the second case, which I'm also going to reduce, but I'm just to split it, I'm going to reduce in the 2006 case ending in 0255, that current lien is $567,100. I'm going to reduce that to $500. And then in the 21 case ending in 0133, the current lien is $13,300. I'll reduce that one to $1,000, so that's $1,500 in total. I can give you a lot of, and how much time do you need to pay that?
About 2 months.
Well, let's put 6 months on the order, okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right. Good luck, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Magistrate.
Ms. Gonzalez, here's a copy of your order. Number 3, 1401 Village Boulevard, 1621 CE 19090437.
That's fine. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 190-90437 was cited on September 25th, 2019. The property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On November 20th, 2019, the magistrate gave the property an additional 30 days or $200 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 52 days, resulting in a lien amount of $10,400. The applicant is the cause of the violation. At this time, the property was recently sold to the tune of $1.3 million. The city is seeking 25%.
Seeking,
I'm sorry?
I didn't hear what you said.
How much I'm asking for, or
Yeah,
everything?
I heard the city is seeking
25%.
25, I just
Okay.
didn't understand. I should have worn my hearing aids today. All right. And you said this is the owner at this time,
Previous, did I get the previous,
this is the previous owner that made
yeah,
the
the time
request?
when they submit the application, they actually sold the property, and according to the property appraiser's file, it was sold for 1.3 million.
Okay.
A little over 1.3 million.
Okay, yes, ma'am. You can tell me your name and address, then you can tell me about the request.
Good morning, Your Magistrate. My name is Pilar Puente, and I'm the broker for the company that manages the asset owned by South Florida Investments.
Can you spell your name for me?
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Can you spell your name for
Of
me?
course. It's Pilar, Pilar, last name Puente, Puente.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your Magistrate, like the officer explained, this case has been dating all the way back since 2019. We did fail that inspection. After that, we were unable to get the inspector back on the property until February, at which point we passed inspection, and I assume we were in compliance at that point. I don't know what happened. I must assume it was COVID, considering that since 2020, we never heard anything back. Upon the process of selling the entire portfolio, we came aware during due diligence that there was a lien against this specific property, 1621. We refiled for a lien reduction, although we had already filed in April of 2020. We proceeded with a second application in February of 2022, as I said, completely unaware or forgotten. I think every party forgot during the chaos of COVID. Nonetheless, at that point in February, then we filed the necessary paperwork. So at this point now we have 2 lien reduction applications. And the bottom line is that we have been trying to comply ever since the process started in 2019. Ultimately, time didn't help us, and it then accrued the fines that it accrued. My client was required to put 2.5% of the lien amount in escrow in order to be able to close. Which we did clearly, but at this point we just feel that the amount of money accumulated, for whatever reason, truthfully unknown to us, and I must assume it was all the craziness and delays caused by COVID. As you can see, we have been trying to be in compliance since 2019.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from the city?
Yes, Special Magistrate, I know Ms. Puente pointed out that this was due to COVID, but I just want to go through over a timeline here. The property was cited in September 25th of 2019. I'll put it right here, on November 18th of 2019, Officer Kevin Levine had an inspection scheduled for the property to inspect for the rental license. That they failed that inspection for not providing proper plumbing, and the dryer was not working at the time. So they were aware that this was going on. And then we moved to, give me a second. We moved to December 23rd of 2019. This would be the second inspection that the owner scheduled with Officer Levine. But once he got to the unit, the tenant said they were not made aware that this inspection was to happen, so Kevin was not able to inspect to ensure that this was in compliance. So this was not due to the city, nor was it due to COVID. We maintained an open line of communication with the property owners. It just wasn't done up until, when was this complied back? And it wasn't compliant back till February 13, 2020, due to the failure on their part. We can't, I understand COVID was detrimental for a lot of businesses and a lot of people, but we can't continue to use it as an excuse to not properly maintain our properties.
All right, thank you. Any final comments, ma'am?
Yes, Your Magistrate, I am not trying to justify anything with COVID. I am only assuming there must have been some delays due to COVID, because we have been trying to comply since 2019. We filed in 2020, and we didn't hear back until 2022. I cannot argue what she said about the tenant. It's very difficult to answer for the actions of the tenants. We do have proper notices given to tenants. If they claim that they weren't aware, it's completely out of my hands. However, I do have to point out that since 2019, we have been paying for the rental license for this particular unit, and I brought it with me in case you wanted to review it. So the rental license has been issued since 2019. We paid the renewal in 2020, and we paid the renewal in 2021. I am not trying to play any sort of blaming game. I'm here just to point out facts and to evidently show that we have been trying to comply. It's unfortunate. We own a significant amount of asset for which we have always been in compliance. So I don't see why we would just arbitrarily pick Unit 1621 to be here having to argue over a lien reduction.
Okay. All right. We have, this is a 2019 case. The lien amount is $10,400 based on the testimony that I have received. And in this case, I'm going to reduce that to $2,600 payable within 30 days.
Thank you, Your Magistrate. Thank you to all present.
I have your order.
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. 30 days, correct? 30 days?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, 30 days?
30 days.
Yeah.
Numbers 4 and 5 for 3219 Windsor Avenue, CE 200500078 and CE 21050041.
Where am I? Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 200500078 was cited on May 18, 2020. The property was cited for junk, abandoned vehicle, garbage can placement, parking requirement, and outdoor storage. On July 1st, 2020, the special magistrate ordered 10 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved. The property was out of compliance for 578 days, resulting in a lien amount of $57,800. The applicant is the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%. Case CE 21050041 was cited on May 5th, 2021. Property was cited for failure to obtain a building permit and the required inspections. On June 16, 2021, the special magistrate ordered 45 days or $150 a day until compliance is achieved. The property was out of compliance for 196 days, resulting in a lien amount of $29,400. Again, the applicant is the cause of the violation. The city is also seeking 25% in this one.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Good morning, Magistrate. My name's Francesco Sensi. So I kind of wrote down my testimony, if that's all right. So I currently live in the back unit of the home. I have the front rented out. Back in 2020, my mother got very ill with COVID, and I stayed with her for many months to take care of her. The tenants I had in the front were refusing to pay rent due to the ban that we had on evictions at the time, so it was overall a better situation to stay with my mother. Around this time, I got a call from Mr. Ray Lung, who was the code enforcement officer at the time. He called to tell me that there was a car that needed to be removed from the side of the road, as well as a trash can that needed to be obscured. I then immediately got the car towed, and the trash can was removed. Mr. Lang told me that at this time the property was up to compliance. Shortly after, there must have been notices mailed to the home, but all the mail would be delivered to the front of the house where these tenants were staying. I hadn't received anything, and the last I heard was that the property was complied. So I attempted to sell the house last year because I had a pregnant fiance with twins and we needed money for a new family. Upon entering contract with the buyer, title found that there were 2 expensive liens on the property, and when I heard of this, I immediately called the city, and they said those 2 code violations from a year ago were never signed off to compliance and that Mr. Lang no longer worked there. So basically, it's just been a nightmare for my new family and I over the past year. Spent thousands trying to bring the property up to code just to make it to this hearing. Had to borrow money just to pay our mortgage. You know, we bought this home with the hopes that with renting the front unit would be one day own it outright and live here with our family. So just here asking for your mercy on reducing these liens. The second part that she mentioned with the permit, so I bought the property and I guess they never pulled a permit on the AC units in the home. I didn't hear this till they originally told me about it, but so I tried to get that squared away as fast as I could.
So the work that was done without a permit was done before you acquired the property?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And then you got the permit taken care of and then had it inspected and...
Correct. Yeah, I reached out to the title company we closed with to see if we could do anything, but I guess that just wasn't in their clause for what they cover.
All right, thank you, sir. Anything else from the city on this?
That's it.
All right. Okay, so having heard everyone's testimony, the way I'm going to do this one, so we have a 2020 case that ends in 078. The lien on that is currently $57,800. I'm going to reduce that to $2,750. On the 2021 case ending in 041, the lien is $29,400. I'm going to reduce that to $250, so the total is $3,000. Can you pay that within 60 days?
Yes, thank you so much, yes.
Just to confirm, it's $2,750 for the one and $250 for the other?
Correct.
Thank you.
Number 6, 712 Park Place, CE 14070085.
They didn't sign
Guess
up.
they're not here.
Nope.
712 Park Place. And then we have 2741 Parker. Is that the one you're here for? Okay, so number 7, 2741 Parker Avenue, CE 18050203.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 180-50203 was cited on May 4, 2018. The property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On July 18, 2008, the magistrate gave the property 10 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 1,401 days, resulting in a lien amount of $140,100. The applicant is the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%, but I just wanted to point out as well, Magistrate, this property as well was sold, and this, according to property appraisers, this property was sold for $463,500.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yes, sir, go ahead and tell me your name and address, then you can tell me about the request.
Good afternoon. My name is Claudio Leyva. I'm here for 2741 Parker Avenue. I received this property through a life estate. We've never rented the property. My grandparents, we've had the property since the 1970s. My grandparents, my mother, father, and brother all live there. I've never received a notice. I'm just looking at the notes here. It's saying that they sent a certified mail that was returned. If I would have received the notice, I would have taken care of that right away. Another note that I want to add to this is that all the people that live there have passed away. My brother was Baker acted and Marchman acted several times on that property. So I decided to sell the property.
But so your testimony is that it's never been a rental property?
It's never been a rental property. It's been in our family since the 1970s.
Okay. And then you no longer own it. You sold it.
I don't.
Earlier
Just
this
have
year.
too many bad memories there.
Sure.
With
Okay. Anything else from the city?
I mean, I just wanted to point out, I know it says certified mail was returned, but as you know, that we do so many ways to send out the notice, certified mail, first class, and we post the property as well as here. If at any time, I know on his application, he stated there were several people in and out the house. If, I've just figured if they were in the house and they actually belong to them or they live there, I don't see why they would not address this or call us and let us know. I mean, it's failure on the property owners.
Your Honor, if I would have received the notice, I could assure you I would have taken care of it right away. The reason why I added my sibling with the Marchman and Baker Act is because it was just a very turbulent thing. My parents trying to deal with him, and that's all I have to say about that. I mean, if I would have received any notice, I would have addressed it right away.
Is there any thing in the city's file that actually indicates that the property was being rented, contrary to the testimony?
Yeah, it said they had a rental license on file. This was actually, they were cited for failure it was a delinquent, so failure to renew it, to pay for it. They already had one on file, and it wasn't paid for 1,401 days. I think it's like $50 or $60 to renew a rental license.
Like I said,
let me just ask, so if I have a rental license but don't rent the property and then I let that expire?
If you let it expire before we take it to hearing or we try to place any liens on it, the permitting department, they contact them by phone, they contact the email we have on file. They contact them by email, and the permitting department sends out mail letting them know, hey, this is expired, please contact us and let us know. And after that, that's when code enforcement, we receive the list, and we also reach out, mail, postings, phone calls, and receive nothing back. So based on the information we have, it shows that the property was being rented, it just was not paid for. And if at that point they no longer to rent it, every resident has the right to say it's no longer being rented, please close out the license, and we would do so without an issue.
All right. So do you know anything about your family getting a rental license or having a rental license?
Like I told you, I received the property through a life estate.
Yeah.
When my father passed away, my mom lived there. My dad lived there. My mom lived there. My brother lived there. And
So you weren't involved with the property until you got it through the life estate?
the only way that I was involved was with showing up for the Baker acting, the Marchman acting stuff. And like I said, just negative experiences. That's why I sold the property.
All right.
If I would have known, listen, $50 for me. If I would have known that there was something there, if I would have received the notice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a business owner, you know, and I have to take care of a lot of paperwork all the time. If I would have received the notice, like I received the notices for the water bills, and they send a lot of notices for water bills, I would have taken care of it with no problem. I mean, this popped up when we were doing the closing, and that's why I'm here today.
Okay. All right. Anything else from the city?
That's all, sir.
Anything else you want to tell me, sir?
That's it. That's all I have to say.
All right, so this is a 2018 case. The lien amount is $140,100 based on the testimony that I've received. You're probably getting the second best deal of the day. I'm going to reduce that to $1,000. Can you pay that within 60 days?
Pay it right now.
Okay. 60 days, pay it now, you're done.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Did anybody show up for agenda item number 6? So we're just going to take that off the agenda for today, and we'll deal with that you'll deal with that administratively, or?
I guess it'll be rescheduled, right?
It's off the schedule for today.
Okay.
It'll be administratively handled. Yes, sir.
All right, and that concludes our business. I don't think we have anything else left. For the good of the order, it's 12:30. We stand adjourned.